Hi. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Welcome to 2024. Holy cannoli, amazing humans. As you come in, I see some of you are already here. Hold on. I'm echoing. Good times. Good times. Love the technical difficulties. Hi, guys. Welcome. Welcome. I see some of you are already here. As you are here, please say hello so I can say hello back. As you guys are doing that, I'm going to remind you today is a little bit of a workshop. Okay. This is not just a like, hey, Sarah's Happy New Year feel good message. So there will be a lot of that. Grab a workbook or a notebook or your favorite journal, whatever. Make sure you have some water handy. I am working on our angel cards right now. Let's go. Happy New Year, Alex. So great to see you. Happy. I love it. Of course I do this. This is my job, man. Come on. As a coach, it's my number one job to help alter human behavior. Yeah. All right, let's see what we pull, beautiful people. Ooh, I don't know that I like this one. Now you really do know. I do not rig these. I pull them as they come up. Let's see. I'm going to let you see what it says first, and then I'll read it. Let's see if it'll adjust. Oh, I don't know if you can see it. It's pretty light, but it says blessing in disguise. Yeah, it's an angel, and she looks like she's a little bit beat up. Let's see what she has to say. So, oh, maybe I do like it. Maybe I'm going to take it back. What appears to be a problem is actually part of your answered prayer. You'll understand the reasons behind your present situation as everything resolves. Trust in heaven's protection or God, universe, whatever word works for you, right? And infinite wisdom to answer your prayers in the best possible way. Well, that's a way to kick off the new year, if I do say so myself. Oh my gosh, did everybody have fun last night? Did you guys have a good New Year's Eve? I hope so. I do hope so. Those of you that are here, please say hi so I can say hi back. I see you there. All right, so today, just so I want to cover these things, okay? And we're going to have to fly because I want to make sure I give you everything. It is New Year's Day, and I want you to relax and be in your PJs and hang out with your family and love up on some TV if that's what you want to do. But I also want your brain working. And I want you focused on what it is you really want. And we'll talk about that more when I talk about the three things that are stopping most people right now, given where we are as a society, as a world, as social media consumers, right? So we'll talk about that. Brenda, good morning, beauty. Hello. All right. So we are going to go through the card, which we did. It's a blessing in disguise this year. We are going to celebrate. So get your brain thinking right now. We're going to celebrate some things you did in 2023. I want you to think of one or two things right now that you're really proud of. Then we're going to cover what I learned from my happiness jar from 2023. Kind of surprised me. And then my number one tip to feeling more abundant in 2024. I don't know if you guys know this, but 2 + 2 + 4 is 8, right? So 2024. It's an 8-year. I am not a numbers person. I know some of you guys are my numerology experts, wherever you are, my astrologers, all of you people who know what numbers mean. But 8, we do know, means abundance. We've seen this everywhere through many different cultures. So I'm ready to jump on that. So I'll share my number one tip for that. And then again, we'll get to the 3 things that are holding people back. So here's what I'd like you to do right now as you got your feet propped up, I hope, whether I'm on your phone and you're chilling, whether you're on your couch, if you're in your office, if you decided to get dressed up like some crazy people on New Year's Day, right? I hope you take a hot second right now. And if you want to share with us, please do. What are you most proud of from 2023? You could go for some more abundance, Brenda. Couldn't we all? I love it. All right. So what are you most proud of from 2023? Now, again, if you want to keep this for yourself, that's fine. If you want to put it in the comments so the whole world can celebrate with you, I say go for it. We always love when that happens, right? Do it. So what I was most proud of in 2023 was how Team Sarah grew. We just absolutely exploded in the right ways. I'm so proud of that. And as you guys know, 2022, we tripled the business's revenue and we maintained that in 2023. And what makes me so proud about that is when we hired a team and still maintain that, right? But also, it wasn't a fluke. Right. It let me know that the message is really sinking in, that the people who love working with us are finding us. The people who are ready for more abundance are coming in. The people who are ready to study on their own are buying the Heart-Centered Sales DIY course. Like it's starting to happen and it's really sinking in. And I'm so proud of that. And the other thing I'm really proud of is, the closeness that I've had with my children. this year. They're getting older, right? So they are 14 and 17, which I still can't believe. We have someone graduating from high school this year. We did college essays all Christmas break, right? But there's like a closeness now that the three of us have. Um, that just feels amazing. And so I'm really proud of that as well. All right. So let's see. Brenda says she graduated with her master's and presented at a national conference in Nashville. I mean, come on. Come on, Brenda. That's huge. I remember when that happened for you. Amazing. Brenda is a sales mastermind graduate. She freaking ate that course, man, for lunch. She was so good in there. And I remember when you got the national conference invitation and you went for it. I'm so excited for you. Congrats on the master's too. That's just incredible, Brenda. Huge. I remember when you made that decision. Clara, happy new year to you too. Beautiful. Happy new year. I am so excited for 2024. All right. So if you guys are going to be shy, it's cool. You don't have to put down what you're most proud of for 2023, but I'd love to know. Inquiring minds. You guys remember that from the National Enquirer? Inquiring minds want to know. All right. So I'll keep an eye out for those to continue to come in because we want to celebrate you. I think one of the biggest mistakes that we all make is we don't actually take a second to savor what we've already accomplished. You guys have heard me talk about like, or if you're new to me, let me talk about it now, right? Like as we're walking down a path, right? We might be 8 miles further than when we started, but as we're walking on the path sort of looks the same day after day after day. It just does, moment by moment by moment, hour after hour after hour, it looks the same. And it gets really easy to forget that you're actually making incredible progress because it doesn't look different yet. Yeah. So something to keep in mind, if we don't lift up our head and look back and go, oh my God, look at how much I've done. You can really rob yourself of the momentum and the dopamine that we all need to keep going. So I really hope you take a second to celebrate. And if you're being shy and you don't want to post it in the chat, that's okay. All right. Alex says that she cleaned out her mind and her stuff, and that's allowed her to feel free to move forward. 2023 was the year of the kids going to college and big changes, and they're settled and you're so happy. This was a big year for you, Alex. I remember that. Oh my goodness. Alex has twins, you guys. So she had a twofer this year, right? Oh my gosh. So good. Claire says, I think I've really strengthened my mental health and resilience. I would agree with that. Really great. You guys are you're such extraordinary humans. I hope you guys get that. Like, who shows up on New Year's Day to make sure they're on track? Who does that? You guys do that. Like, please give yourself a massive acknowledgement for that. You guys are incredible. What a journey we've all been on together, and what a journey you have taken on yourself. I hope you really let that sink in. Okay. So you guys know, if you follow me on Instagram, if not, I'm at the Sarah Walton over there, not because I'm the Sarah Walton. My name was taken. Rude, right? Anyway, so this was my happiness jar. I got this idea from Jay Shetty last year where I did it every Monday morning. Some people do it on Sunday mornings, whatever. I would write down something I was proud of or really loved from the week before. And I went through it yesterday. I was so happy. So one thing I wanted to share with you guys is I really started using Joe Dispenza meditations this year. A friend of mine recommended it and I really enjoyed it. And in March, I was meditating on where am I going to live after my youngest goes to college? Like, really, where do I want to plant my feet? And it just kept coming back. I've always wanted to move back to Paris. I lived in France after I graduated college. And it was like, Paris. I was like, oh my gosh, could I really have an apartment in Paris? Right. And I sort of started to let myself breathe. I'm like, well, my business can run from anywhere. Like, yeah, maybe this is a really cool thing. And one of the things we learned from the Joe Dispenza meditations is ask for a sign when you're done meditating. Am I on the right track? Is this where you want to go? So I did that meditation in Atlanta with my girlfriends. I flew back home. And as I was driving home from the airport, my phone rang and it was a girlfriend of mine who lives in Paris. And we hadn't spoken in 2 years. And she called me out of the blue. I had forgotten about that until I read it in here. And I was like, oh, I just got chills again. I was like, I got a sign right afterwards. So that was something so fun. So I wanted to encourage you guys to do this for yourselves this year. It's day one. It's a Monday and a day one, like so cool. Like you can get started on this right now. What were you even happy about over the last week, or how you celebrated, or the fact that you showed up today on New Year's Day to work on you? It's incredible. Not everybody does that. And then the other thing I wanted to let you guys know I had forgotten about, sort of. I hadn't forgotten about it because it was a pretty big life shift. But the power of releasing toxic humans from our lives. Early April, I had decided to end a 30-year friendship, which was really, I didn't see that coming. But like, you get those signs when people are toxic. And I want to give you guys a couple of things to look for right now. Okay. because I think this is something I'd like to push everyone towards, especially if we're aiming for more abundance. I want to push you towards this in 2024 is releasing toxic people. So toxic phrases are things like, I don't know what I'd do without you after they've pulled on you really hard, right? And it's one thing when that's an acknowledgement that you know is genuine and heartfelt and gorgeous. Amazing. Sometimes people can really say, like, wow, you really stepped up and this was extraordinary and I'm really grateful. That's one way. But another way is like, it's a pull of like, God, you can't ever leave me because I'll fall apart. And now that's on you. Whoa, that's toxic. Do you see the difference? So we really want to learn to feel the difference there. Also, if you ever feel a lack of energy after you're with somebody versus feeling full of energy and excited and maybe even inspired to do more, that's probably a toxic person that's pulling you back. And you're like, oh my God, I just need to sit on the couch after that conversation. It's just a sign that maybe that's someone you don't want to spend so much time with. We all have someone. And so I just want to challenge you right now in 2024, the year of massive abundance. I want you to let go of your people. And there's probably one or two people who just popped into your head. I'm so sorry. You don't have to be a jerk and be like, that's it, you're toxic, I'm out, right? You don't have to do anything like that. You can be kind and generous and wonderful and either be busy or be very straightforward and say, listen, my life is really changing. And this is where things are headed for me now. I hope you can respect that. And I wish you so much good and happiness. It's up to you how you choose to do that. I will always encourage you to be more straightforward and honest because we've all been taught not to be, right? We've all been taught to make sure everyone else is comfortable despite the fact that we're dying inside. So I'm going to encourage you to actually say what you need to say, and you can say it with love and kindness. You never have to be a jerk, but let's start removing toxic people. That was something I learned from my happiness jar, that was such a critical point. And I have a feeling, very strong feeling. Nope. I have a very strong knowing that that's one of the reasons I was able to create the depth of relationship with my children that I was able to create this year. Now that it's just the three of us in the house, right? Like really, what was I able to do with that? And then also, keeping the business thriving the way that it has been while we bring on new team members. Like that was a really big change. And I don't think I could have done that had I kept the toxic people around. Yeah. Does that make sense? And it's not because they're bad people. They have their own path and let's let them go on their path. And you know what? It ends up helping them too. Let's be honest. Right? Yeah. It's a good thing. Good thing. Yes, you can go buy a pretty jar, Brenda, but it's not required. This actually, isn't it pretty? I know the little flower. I don't know if you can see there's a little flower on it. Actually, somebody sent me flowers in this. And I was like, what am I going to do with this big, huge jar? And then I was like, thanks, Jay Shetty. Yeah. So you don't have to buy a new one. You can use anything. You use a basket, whatever you want to use. And I did something funny. I'm going to just real quick, as you guys decide whether or not you're going to do this. These are sticky notes and I folded them in half and now they're stuck shut. So I didn't want to get a whole bunch of paper cuts. So don't do that because I had to read them like this. Sarah. So get scraps of paper, not sticky notes. Note to self. All right. Next up, beautiful people. Let's talk about in 2024, the year of abundance. The number one way, or my number one tip for feeling more abundant in 2024. One, it's not one tip. I lied. I'm sorry. It's kind of a twofer. Okay. But one is I'm really going to challenge you guys to clean out your stuff. Okay. And this is what I mean by it's a twofer. There's mental stuff, right? There's cleaning up messes and then physical stuff, right? So the mental stuff and cleaning up messes, I kind of bulk that as one because you know when you've wronged someone, you know when you haven't kept your word, you know when something didn't quite have the integrity you wanted it to have, you know that. So you either need to release that and declare it done or go clean up that mess and apologize and make sure things are set straight. Your call, right? You're a grown up, you can figure that out. But the other thing I really want to encourage you to do in a year of abundance is get rid of your crap. She said with love. I'm not kidding. And you guys know I'm pretty rigorous about this. I'm a massive fan of the life-changing art of tidying up. And yet over the last week, right? I didn't do any client-facing work over the last week. We took it off. I used all of that time to once again clean out my house. Now I was able to do the entire house in 4 days because I do it often. But I was still surprised, even as rigorous as I am and as much as I do, I cannot believe how good I feel having that out of the way. And the reason for that is, you guys, if you ask any psychologist anywhere, they will tell you the hidden spaces in your home represent your subconscious. They just do. Like it's this physical manifestation. It's the same with your car and your body, by the way. Just fun side note. So go clean your car and take good care of it. You know what I'm saying? Don't put junk in the trunk, literally. Okay. Anyway, so the hidden rooms in your home represent your subconscious, right? And so you want to make sure you're doing what you can to keep that clear and clean. Because your subconscious, for those of you that don't know, what I want you to understand is, okay, let's say I'm looking at these rings on my finger, right? So just focus on these for a second, right? So you're going to focus on these. Focus, 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 focus. But what else are you seeing at the exact same time? You're seeing the tree, you're seeing the chair, you're seeing the painting, you're seeing my face, you're seeing what's around you in your room. Maybe there's a window, a wall, a painting, but you're still looking at the ring. So this is your conscious mind, and everything else that is around you, your subconscious is taking in and knows about. This is why doctors can do allergy tests on people with muscle testing. Have you guys heard about this, right? So they'll put flour in one bag and not tell the person what it is, but the subconscious knows. And they'll put I don't know, gluten-free flour in this hand, right? And they'll say which one's safe for you. And this hand will drop. Automatic. Why? Because the subconscious is running that, and it absolutely knows. You guys, this is scientifically backed. I'm not making it up. You can go research it. It's gorgeous to understand. So if your subconscious is filled with crap that is physically manifested in your home, you're going to feel it. And you're going to go to create something new, and you're going to feel that. Tell me if this resonates, my beautiful humans. You're going to feel it. Oh, I'm not ready. I got to wait until this one thing's lined up. I have to wait until these people are situated. This one's out of my house. This one, I need to find that. I need to get that hired. I need to take this. Do you hear that? It's because the gunk isn't cleaned out, literally. So as you do that physical work of cleaning out the hidden spaces in your house, which is absolutely a challenge I'm giving you in the abundance year, get rid of that stuff, because it will make room for you to feel that freedom that I believe abundance really is anyway. If you've taken the Abundance Breakthrough Workshop, what is abundance, right? It's freedom. It's freedom. It's freedom to know you have food. It's freedom to know you can move if you want. It's freedom to know you can learn something new. It's freedom to know you can take yourself to a beautiful lunch if you want to. It's freedom to know you can hire people. It's freedom to know you can go see your kids wherever they are in the world, right? Or go pick them up at kindergarten. Wherever you are on that spectrum, that's freedom. You can't have that when the subconscious areas of your home and your mind are filled with crap. Again, I say elegantly. Yeah. So it's my number one challenge. This is your number one tip for staying abundant all throughout this year. Be rigorous with your spaces. Get cleaned out. Be pristine with your thoughts, with your behavior, with your integrity. Doesn't mean perfect. 100% effort does not mean perfection. People have that collapsed. So I'm using the word pristine. It's the year of abundance. Let's get cleaned out. Let's use this time to really be free and open to expand on what matters most to you. Yeah? Okay. Serious question. What do I do with all my books? I donate them. Most of the time I'll get them from the library, Brenda. I'm a big believer in supporting the local library. I love doing that. Plus it's free for us. And there's one book that gets recycled over and over. Goodwill is great at taking books, and they display them beautifully so other people can go enjoy them as well. Yeah, absolutely. Great question. Tammy, I haven't seen you in a while. Hello, beautiful woman. Welcome to 2024. It's like I'm in your head today. Oh, well, I'm so glad. You're welcome. I love it. Let's kick some assets in 2024. Yeah. Tammy. Woohoo. All right. So let's talk about the 3 things that are holding most people back right now. We all know, I'm going to touch on it because we kind of have to, right? Here we are talking about beauty and cleaning things out and being pristine, right? Part of the reason this is my work is because the more of us I can bring into this conversation, the more we can shift what's happening in the world. True, right? I mean, we know there's been studies done when people meditate in high crime areas, the crime rate drops. There's a thing, we're connected. This is not rocket science. We know this. We've seen it. You've all been there. You've all had that experience where you're facing one way and someone comes in the room behind you and you get chills and you know it's not safe. How do you do that? Because we're connected, right? So we want to keep our spaces pristine. We want to clean out what we're doing so we can present to the world with beauty and joy and love. Yeah. And ease, please, right? Like let's just be ourselves and show up and be powerful and say what needs to be said. And what's happening in the world right now is pretty freaking ugly. Yeah. I was doing a work conversation with a colleague and very, very good friend. about how people are using search. We're business people. This is our conversation. This is what makes my socks roll up and down. Like, how are people using search now? Are people still going to Google? And no, in 2023 has shifted and people are now getting their news only, I'm going to throw up in my mouth a little bit, from social media that is not regulated, social media that is not fact checked, and social media that anyone can write. And so what that's doing to all of us is item number one. The number one reason I think most people are not on track right now, or they're not feeling like their lives are their own, right? They're like not feeling like they're making traction, that they're taking action on the things that matter most to them, that they're moving um, the projects forward that are the most important to them, and they're not connected to the people they love, is this activity. It is causing us not to be regulated. And I don't mean regulated like a government institution. I mean nervous system regulated. Do you know what I'm talking about? I mean, have you guys ever had like an experience that was really shocking or scary, or maybe you were in a car accident or something like that that wasn't fun, and for weeks afterwards, if there's a noise, you jump? It's because your nervous system's not regulated. Now, I'm not a somatic expert, and I can't even pretend to be. That's an incredible, extraordinary study and industry that is booming, thank God. But what I do know is we are not taking the time to make sure we are regulated. And what that's doing is increasing our stress levels, right? And what do we do when we're stressed? We act like a bunch of jackwagons. I mean, right? How many times have you snapped at someone you love because you were stressed out? You're not regulated in that moment, so you snap. So what I'm going to have us do, all of us, is one of the things I'd like for you to commit to, if you're open to it in 2024, is really learning about yourself. Really getting to know, what do you need to do to bring your nervous system back online? You know what that feels like, right? You know, you're like in the flow, things are going, your integrity's in, you're like, oh my God, what a day. And someone cuts you off and you go, oh, bless you, I hope you're okay, right? Because you're like totally cool. And then take that other day where things don't go and you're totally stressed out and someone cuts you off and you almost kill them, right? Like, that's what I'm talking about. We need to be responsible for how we're regulating our own nervous systems. This is something all of us can learn more about. There is so much incredible information out there about this. There are somatic therapists out there about this that really teach you how to be in your body and how to regulate your nervous system in different ways. If you don't know what that is, I encourage you to look at it. If you feel like your nervous system and you're always like kind of jumpy like that, you might end up being like one of those beautiful humans. I think it's 20% of the people on the planet are considered highly sensitive. Just means your nervous system's very aware all the time. And so you need to figure out how to protect yourself with that too, and regulate your nervous system so that you can be like, oh, bless you. What a world it would be if we all took the personal responsibility to take care of ourselves first. And I'm not talking about self-care and manicures. I am talking about bringing your nervous system back online so that you can walk through this world protected internally and showing up as the best version of yourself so you can help other people be regulated. Because what happens, just like someone walks in and you're like, oh my God, it's not safe. What happens when someone walks in and they're like, you go, let's be that person. Yeah. Can we commit to that in the year of abundance, that we're the people who show up and calm other people down just by being there? And I'm not saying be a doormat, and I'm not saying do things for other people. I'm saying take care of you so you can show up and be that cause. Is this making sense? All right. I hope so. Self-regulation. That's right. And Alex goes, yes, that's right. So powerful. So powerful. And in the Abundance Academy, by the way, this is something we work on the regular. We're always talking about self-regulation and some of the things that I do personally to make sure I'm as calm as I can be so I can make beautiful decisions in the business and show up for other people. And I will tell you, in 2023, it worked. All right. Now, the other reason that people are not doing what they say they're going to do, they're not showing up to their best ability, is they don't understand the skill of influence. I do have a YouTube video on that here if you guys want to go check that out, but there's an actual skill set that you can develop to increase your influence. Now, I'm not talking about becoming a social media influencer, though the exact same skills can be applied. So if that's on your list in Abundant Year of 2024, go learn these skills. Like I said, it's right here on YouTube. We'll put a link to that video underneath this video so you can go find it and learn these skills. These are real skills that you can learn and practice. This is not rocket science. And I think sometimes with influence, we think some people are just born with it. right? Like, oh God, that's just someone with charisma. Charisma is a skill. Spoiler alert, charisma is just presence. It really is. Because you know if someone's being shy and withdrawn, they're not with you. They're worried about themselves. Well, that's not attractive. I don't want to hang out with somebody who's worried about themselves. Do you? That's not fun. And you know who they are. You probably ran into some in some New Year's Eve parties. That's not fun. Right. And then there's the person who's always looking behind you for someone more important. Oh, yeah, yeah. No, that's great. Yeah. And you're like, well, they're not here. They're not present with me either. And then there's the person who looks you right in the eye and there's nothing else going on but you. Oh, that's the best person to be like, do you just not love that person? We all know that, but you're like, oh my God, I'd love hanging out with them because they're 100% present. And that's been mislabeled as charismatic. Yeah, not mislabeled. It hasn't been combined properly. Yeah, it's not a talent. It's a skill and you can learn it. Yeah. All right. So that's reason number 2. So reason number 1 is no self-regulation is why people are not where they want to be in 2023, this first day of 2024. Right. Second is influence. And the third is a lack of intention. I just have to be super honest with you guys. Do you know what you want to accomplish in 2024? Or are you throwing spaghetti at the wall? I'm going to let that go quiet for a sec. Are you going to live 2024 with intention? Do you know what you want? And there's a secondary thing to intention, right? There's what you want and then what you've got to do to get it. And that part, everyone's like, look over there. Oh, yeah, right. I was just having an incredible conversation with a very close girlfriend of mine. I just love her to pieces. And she's always wanted to write a book. And she's sort of been writing it here and there, hodgepodgey, blah, 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 right? And she goes, I said, well, why aren't you doing it? She goes, because it's really hard. I was like, yeah, that's correct. And we were just laughing. She was so great. She was being so like coachable and a great friend at the same time, right? But it's like, oh my God. So we made a deal, 2 pages a day. That's it. That's your intention is 2 pages a day. And I'll tell you, she's done it every day since. 2 pages a day, not write a book. Yes, that's the big intention. But on the daily, you guys, you've got to be intentional and focused in that day to get you where you want to go. Yeah? Okay. Clear? If you're not clear, put it in the comments. I will coach you. This is called Coffee with Coach. So if you need coaching, let's go. It's 2024, people. All right. Now, I promised you guys a framework. As you're working through this, here's your framework for making sure you're setting the goals that matter the most to you, not to anyone else. Okay? You ready? All right, write these questions down. Ilea, what's up, girl? Happy New Year, beauty. Oh, I love seeing that name there. I love it more than you know. All right, here's your framework for making sure this is the right goal for you. Okay, so you can just think of my friend, right? So writing a book, intention, 2 pages a day. Okay, that's the intent, like on the daily. Yeah. Okay. Here are the questions. Yay for a framework. Here we go. You ready? Number 1. Is this goal mine? Funny question, right? What we're getting at is, did you set this because you think you're supposed to? Or is it yours? Is this goal mine? Question 1. Question 2. Why do I want this? So now you've made sure it's yours. And now you got to ask, why do I want it? Why do I want it? Why? Now, one of the goals I shared a bit ago for me was getting super healthy, right? And I have made a new goal for 2024. I did this in 2018. I'm doing it again in 2024 because 2018 was amazing. Is I'm going to make 2024 the healthiest year I've ever had. Healthiest. Blood work's getting done, all the things, right? You name it, I'm getting it done. Just to make sure I'm super healthy. The fitness schedule's ready to go. Why? Well, spoiler alert, trigger alert for anyone who's dealt with any kind of sexual trauma is my body was sexually abused as I was a child for years and years and years and years. So my why for this, yeah, I hope I lose a little weight. That'd be great, right? Like I love when my clothes are a little bit tight right now. It's post-Christmas. I love when they're flowy and comfortable. Like I love that feeling. I love feeling really strong. Yes, those are part of the goal. Also, I want to send the message to my body that it matters and that it deserves to be healthy and it deserves to be taken care of very well. It's a pretty deep why. It's not a fluffy why. The weight loss is great, but the why is body, you freaking matter. And I love you. And we're doing this. You are going to get everything you need to be as healthy as possible. Yeah? Making sense? Okay. Why are you doing this? Question number 3. What will be different for you when you achieve this goal? This is one that I really want you to sit with, right? Because oftentimes we'll set goals when we think we should, then we make sure it's for us, then we get clear on the why. And then it's like, okay, what's going to be possible for me once I reach this goal? Like, what do I really see happening once I make this happen? And you got to get real with yourself on that. You got to really sit down and be like, oh, okay, right? Like, what are we doing? Like, what's going to change? And I say this a lot to people who say they want a really big, beautiful house. Awesome. That is fantastic. Go for it. What is going to change for you? Is it a matter of walking into every room and going, oh my God, I love this space? That's fantastic. And you know, you can cause that to happen right now. Right now. I don't know, maybe instead of a big new house, grab a new couch right now, right? Or get some new throw pillows or get a new painting or repaint a room. You can cause that right now while you're still working on a larger intention if that is really truly what you want. Do you see what I'm saying? But you got to get clear on what's going to actually change for you. Making sense? Yeah? Okay. All right. Rita says, I'm starting the new year here with you, and I worked out this morning first thing. Go, Rita. Go, Rita. I did not work out today. I'm super sore from yesterday's workout. Oh my goodness. Thank you for that, Rita. Welcome to the party. All right, you guys, before we jump off, because we're at our 30 minutes, and I did promise you to do a fast, energy infused, I hope inspiration infused, but also straight talking New Year's Day mini workshop for Coffee with Coach. Yeah. Does anybody have any questions before we wrap up today? I want to make sure if you're not clear on a goal that I give you a hot second to make sure you are. I'll give you guys just a minute. As we're waiting for any brave souls who want to do that, was this helpful today, you guys? I want to make sure you're getting what you need from Coffee with Coach, that you are enjoying this, that this is really solid content that helps you actually move forward. It's not just content you consume because you're bored. Yeah, you can do that too, but you know what I'm saying. Yeah? All right. Giving you guys a second to type. You guys are like, what? I got to go work off my hangover. What? All right, beautiful people. With that, I am going to say the first Coffee with Coach of 2024 is now complete. I cannot wait to see what you guys create this year. I am so honored and excited to be your coach on the first Monday of every month in Coffee with Coach. This is an extraordinary group of humans who follow us here on YouTube, and I really want to acknowledge you for what you're going to do this year and for everything you've done this last year, for all the things that nobody knows about, that only you know about, and for the ambition you are letting fly this year. Go for it. I love you to bits. Bye, guys. Happy New Year.